First of all, I've been outside sweating and my hair has been up in a ponytail, so this is happening, but let's ignore that and move forward. So lately I've received a number of comments from you, totally unprompted, but some of you have mentioned that you've set clothing budgets for yourselves. And I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to budgeting. And so today I thought I would share them with everyone. So if you currently shop a lot and you want to change your relationship to shopping, setting a budget may seem like a really good idea, right? You limit the amount of money that you're allowed to spend on clothing, and so you'll theoretically shop less and make better purchasing decisions because you have limited resources and so you want to use them wisely, right? Well, not always. If shopping is something that you currently do, maybe more or less as a hobby or an activity that you do with friends, or it may even be sort of an escape, if it's something that you do all the time, then setting a clothing budget for yourself may actually be more stressful and more harmful because it doesn't actually address the underlying problem. Shopping and sort of consumption in general has become a huge part of our culture. There are signals coming at us from everywhere that say we need this to be happy, or this to be beautiful, or this to be relevant. And so shopping has really transformed from something that we do occasionally when we need something into an activity that we take part in all the time. If you've decided to impose some kind of a shopping clothing budget on yourself, then that can be good because it indicates that you at least recognize there's a problem with this sort of constant unbridled spending. However, I personally take issue with budgets. I think they're problematic because they often impose sort of arbitrary limitations on spending without addressing the root problem, which again is the sort of normalized, ever-present shopping culture that most of us live in. It's the equivalent of saying that you're going to decrease your sugar intake by eating only one cupcake a month, but you live in a bakery. So what happens? You blow the budget. Early in the month, you have a cupcake because you promised yourself one cupcake, so you eat it, and then a few days later, you're hanging out with friends and they're all eating cupcakes, so you eat another cupcake, and then a few days down the road, you see a cupcake that's your favorite flavor, so you eat that one too, and it's this vicious cycle, but we live in a bakery, so there are cupcakes everywhere. The only way to stop eating cupcakes is to get out of the bakery. Similarly, if we want to spend less money on clothing or any other type of item for that matter, we're setting ourselves up for disaster if we impose a limit but do nothing to change our environment or our mindset. Another related but slightly different issue that I have with budgets is that if we set aside a certain amount of money to be spent on clothing every month, it reinforces the idea that clothing is something that needs to be purchased every month, and it really isn't. But we're going to constantly be in this sort of shopping mindset. We'll always be on the hunt for clothing if we already have resources dedicated to it. So what do we do? If you really want to curb your spending and change your relationship to shopping, I recommend avoiding shopping altogether. Or in other words, go on a shopping fast. Give yourself 1 month or 3 months or 6 months where you're not going to purchase any clothing at all. Now, I think when a lot of us hear the term shopping fast, we sort of think of something kind of like Lent. We're going to deprive ourselves of something for a set amount of time and then we're going to go right back to it when it's over. But to me, that's not the purpose of a shopping fast. I think that the purpose of a shopping fast is to retrain our brains. It's an opportunity to prove to ourselves that we don't need to shop regularly. We can sort of rid ourselves of this deeply ingrained habit and also develop strategies that we can take with us moving forward. And if the idea of going on a shopping fast terrifies you, that could be a really good indicator that you would benefit from a shopping fast, because not shopping shouldn't be a frightening thing. Cool, so how do you do that? 1, get out of the bakery. Unsubscribe from marketing emails, don't physically go into stores, and do not browse online. 2, do literally anything else. Instead of going to the mall on a Saturday, get a massage or make brunch and invite your friends over, or volunteer or clean your house. You can do anything but shopping, and the world is full of things to do that are not shopping. If you can't think of something that's not shopping, that's a problem. 3, spend some time reflecting on your own psychology. So during the fast, if you feel the urge to shop coming on, ask yourself why. And then ask yourself why again, and keep asking why until you can't ask why anymore. And this should help you to get some really good insight into your own shopping behaviors so you can change them. During the fast, you may also have some breakthrough moments, some moments of clarity where you realize that you don't need to shop all the time. And those should be examined as well so you can determine your own strategies for not shopping moving forward. 4th and finally, don't go off the rails whenever the fast is over. I have an entire video dedicated to how to make responsible shopping decisions, and I'll link that in the description below. Now, if this video sort of feels like I'm talking about addiction, it's because I kind of am. I feel like I've done everything except say the words cold turkey in this video, but shopping can be an addiction, and a lot of companies pay a lot of money to make sure we get hooked. But unlike just about every other addiction, it's socially acceptable, it's socially encouraged, so it can be really difficult to overcome, but it can be done, it just needs to be taken seriously. Now, this is obviously a really deep topic, and we could talk about it all day, but I hope maybe some of you after watching this video can start to see shopping for what it really is, and take some steps to change some of those deeply ingrained behaviors. There's no overnight cure, and the reason we shop varies greatly from one person to the next, so it takes some introspection and it takes some time, but if you put in the effort, it can actually change your life. That's going to be it for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.